Hey there everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope everybody had a hump day by the time you get home. I'm having a good day today. I had kind of an off day yesterday again. I don't know what that's about like the last couple of weeks. I had one last week and it was nothing serious. It just kind of felt a little wonky yesterday. So I just stayed in bed most of the day and just rested. Took it easy, and today back to normal. And I want to talk about my #1 raw food diet expert. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down there now and hit that big red button, then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I don't know what's going on. I know you're tired of hearing me say that every day, but I've checked my analytics again today, and there's days, I mean, I know the patterns. I kind of know the patterns, and I don't know if they're cleaning up a ton of accounts or if they just like, I don't know if they really do unsubscribe people all the time. But anyhow, just a little public service announcement there. So who would you think my #1 raw food diet expert is? You probably figured if you've watched me for a while, you're probably thinking that's a trick question right there. And it is a trick question because my #1 raw food diet expert is me. Me, and it's always going to be me. I don't put myself in the hands of other people. I mean, there's few circumstances that I'll totally put trust in somebody else, but I'm always part of the things, and I'm actually the one making the decision. I'm the decision maker out of it. All this stuff. Think about it. Think about it. Go just play. Let your mind run free one day and just like look around on YouTube, social media, everywhere. You're just bombarded with information on plant-based diets, but specifically on the raw food diet, raw vegan lifestyle. It's like a religion sometimes. And it's like you have the different factions within the religion, you know, that have their certain spins on the religion. They're all about the holy raw. That's the one thing they can all agree on is the holy number of 118. I love when somebody gets into a precise conversation about that number. Well, now, you know, make sure you're dehydrated or make sure it doesn't go above 118. Like all of a sudden the shit's gonna fall apart if it goes above 118. I know I'm very irreverent on this stuff. I'm sorry, it's food. I don't take all this stuff very, very seriously like a lot of people do. But yeah, you should always be your #1 expert because you're the one that's going to have to sift through all that decision and make the decisions. I don't ask a lot of questions. I mean, as far as questions, like I don't go into, you know, I definitely don't go into Facebook on my, blah, 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 what does so-and-so think about this? Yeah, I'm going to put my most precious commodity, my most precious gift in the hands of the peanut gallery out there. Random people out there that are going to shout out this, going to shout out that, going to shout out the other. Even in a group setting or even in a forum, you're kind of just like, you're giving yourself a headache. Because when you ask a question, you got everybody out there. It kind of goes back to school. You remember those little annoying people in class? I know the answer, I know the answer. So you got everybody that's going to post and tell you what they think, blah, 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 blah. And you got to wade through 100 damn opinions when, like I always say, and I'll double down on this message, just go to Google, just go to YouTube, and search that stuff. You can find the stuff just like that, but nobody seems to want to do that. You know, it's like everybody wants to talk this stuff, talk about it over and over and over and over and over. I'm not into talking on this lifestyle. I don't get back and forth into the conversations because that's like noise. It distracts me. I'm easily distracted anyway. I don't have a very good attention span. So that's just distracting noise. I prefer doing my research like I do it, getting the information, looking at and I like to look at a lot of different viewpoints. I like to look at conflicting viewpoints. I like to look at somebody that says white. I like to look at somebody that says black, and then make my my decision. But you know, that kind of online back and forth, oh, well, what do you think, this and that, that's just a lot of hooey, and it wastes a lot of time. I've found, you know, since I've been doing this lifestyle, that just doing things on my own, figuring it out on my own, and not even just making my decisions, but doing the experiment, like I'm always talking about the experiment. I take something, I plug it into my body, I do it, whatever it is, and then I see how it works. And that's what I have done most of the time. Excuse me, just going to refer to my notes here. Most everything I do, this one's important, I really wanted to write it down so I didn't forget to say this point. Everything I do is based on common sense and personal experience. Personal experience. Look, and that's why the woo-woo stuff never really caught with me, and that's why I've stayed away from it the whole time, and that's why, you know, I think some people probably nobody's going to listen to them because we don't want to hear all these magical words and all these terms and all this stuff that's kind of, you know, I don't even know if it's real science or whatever. It's usually some of the extreme stuff. It's usually some of, you know, the stuff that's really out there. But yeah, I don't get into that. I get into the explanations. That's why I like people, whether they're raw or not, like Dr. Greger, T. Colin Campbell, Caldwell Esselstyn, Brenda Davis for raw, because I like explanations. I don't like all this woo-woo esoteric, like, you know, there's some people out there that are just a little too much into the religion of this raw thing. They go so far as to think they can heal everything with food. You know, you cut off, I think there's probably some sect out there that thinks if you lose a limb that at some point we can regenerate it, like these lizards that grow their tails back or whatever. But yeah, I like, you know, I like information. I like solid information with you know, at least somewhat scientific explanations, and then I like to see how they work on me. And that's what it's always going to be about. It's kind of like driving down the road, and I go in whatever direction based on how I feel. And I know, you know, that's the only real way to do it. Because listen, I kind of hate this little saying in a way, but we're all different and our bodies all work differently. They do work differently. And they do process things differently. And nobody is me. That's why I'm always saying, and I've done similar videos like this before, that's why I'm my #1 expert. I'm not sitting here in front of you telling you I'm the smartest guy in the world. I'm smarter than all the other raw people out there. I know more information. I know the way. Follow me. I just know one thing above everything else in the world. I'm the #1 expert on me. Now, yes, there's some things I don't know. I can't take, you know, don't take that 100% literally. I wouldn't want to, you know, only a fool is his own lawyer. Have you ever heard that one? No, I'm not, I couldn't be a lawyer. I can't fix the plumbing in my house. I can't do other things. But when it comes to my body, this inner working, I'm the only person that knows how certain things feel. I'm the only person. You know, somebody can tell me, oh, you can't combine this, or you need to do this, or if you eat this, it's going to do whatever. But if I eat that, and I eat it 20 times, and it doesn't do that for me, I tend to be like, well, maybe you shouldn't be saying this with such authority, like this is, you know, this is a fact for everybody. So, #1, be your own expert. Stop asking an infinite amount of questions. Just stop. Take a step back and figure out your process on doing this. Figure out how to do your research, however it works for you, however you take it in. But start being a little bit more proactive. You know, I've been very active in this, and I do realize, you know, that my circumstances are a little bit differently. I don't have the responsibilities some people do. I have more time that I can decide, you know, I don't have to do my work right now. I can do this or whatever. So I've had a lot of time to be in the 6.5 years doing this lifestyle. I've got a lot of time to observe myself, you know, like I'm around the house working, but I can jump up from my computer, make my food, do this, do that. But I know what works for me. I know what works for me. And that's why I'm never going to defend it. I'm never going to argue about it. I'm never going to get into a heavy discussion about try to defend, like, you're not going to talk me out of something that I know is working for me. Now, as far as the fully raw and all that kind of stuff goes, that's just for everybody to kind of make their decisions themselves. I've been, you know, I've been dabbling, thinking about the fully raw thing the last couple of days. I mean, even being a drunk, I came into this lifestyle fairly healthy. I haven't had, knock on wood, thank God, any major health problems. My digestion, as I've told you a bunch of times, was actually pretty good for somebody eating on the standard American diet. So I have come to this idea that it's not one size fits all either. You know, just because I'm saying I don't have to be fanatic about 100% raw food diet. And some people don't even try to be high raw. You know, maybe they eat raw till dinner, maybe they eat whatever. And I see a lot of people thriving. That's what I'll finish with here. I see a lot of people out there thriving that don't do it exactly like I do it. And that would just lead me to believe we have different needs for our bodies as far as the healing goes. You know, there's some people's bodies, and God, I feel bad for it. I'm not saying this in a light way, but it just seems like we got so many people like, you know, that come to this lifestyle, that watch videos, that join groups, whatever. Maybe it's the last hope. But they seem to have so many problems. You know, I see people that got 3 and 4 different, you know, fairly serious medical issues. I don't. So maybe depending on what you're healing, you know, but in the end, I eat. I just fuel myself. You know, I would eat a whole lot differently. Somebody was asking me about this the other day. I'd eat a whole lot differently if I had health issues, if I was healing. Healing and day-to-day, healing and normal eating are 2 different manners. If I were to get very, very sick tomorrow, yes, I wouldn't be fooling around. I wouldn't be, okay, well, I can do this and that. I'd go straight to the top of what I consider the healing pyramid, and I'd get that stuff out, but I don't need to. As long as my digestion's good, my energy level's good, I can look into the camera, I can look into the mirror every time, and you can see how clear these eyes are. You know, for an old man, my skin's pretty good. Anything you see is just sunspots or whatever. I'm height weight proportionate, more or less. I could actually gain a few pounds, but once again, I like that too. I like the biggest aspect of my raw food diet that I like, the absolute best, is I can eat all the time. I never have to restrict. I never have to say, yeah, I better not eat that. If I'm even, you know, I'm not going to do it every single night, but even if I'm laying in bed at 7:30 or 8 at night, I've already finished for the day, and I just say, I think I want a dessert or a snack with this movie. I go make myself a shake, and it ain't no thing. I don't have to sit around like I used to going, okay, well, I ate this today. I better not go get the ice cream back in the dairy days. I can eat everything I want, and I do. I eat all the time. Sometimes eating becomes a chore, so I'm my #1 raw food diet expert, and I would highly, highly advise you from day one to be yours. To be yours. Doesn't mean you know everything. It just means you're controlling it. You're controlling how information's taken in. You're controlling which information you choose to believe and follow. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.